Frequências de Brilho é uma terapia que todo ser humano poderia experimentar.
Nasci numa família totalmente diferente do que eu acreditava, das coisas que eu sentia. E o Frequências de Brilho me trouxe de volta à minha família. Então isso me traz muita emoção.
Trabalho hoje só com Frequências de Brilho. Muito feliz, extremamente feliz fazendo aquilo que eu absolutamente amo, confio e acredito. E sei que é verdadeiro porque é verdadeiro.
Ela faz o brilhinho, daí eu durmo até a hora de jantar.
O meu corpo físico, em essência última, é átomo. E o átomo não é parado, não é paralisado, o átomo vibra. O átomo tem um campo de energia vibratório. É nesse campo, é nesse lugar que as frequências, que são movimentos vibratórios, vão ativar. É lá dentro de mim. Daí a necessidade desse trabalho de cura ser considerado como um trabalho de autocura.
Para as pessoas que não acreditam, eu diria assim: experimente e depois você fala.
So I think it's really important for anybody who's watching this, they'll say, who is Christine Day? And so I want to share a little bit about my background, because my story, I believe, has influenced and really allowed people to be inspired to move forward in their own journeys in their lives. And you know, I had a background of childhood abuse. So when I was a child, I was very abused. So I had a very troubled adult life. And at the age of 31, I was diagnosed with systemic lupus. I found myself in hospital, the doctor saying I had 8 weeks to live. And when they told me I was going to die, I really realized I wanted to die. In order for me to live, I had to do something very different, and yet I didn't know what that could be, because I wasn't into healing, I wasn't into God, I wasn't into any sort of belief system at all. I wasn't connected to any church, but I knew I had to go home and do something differently. So I began to meditate every day. 6 months later, that I was just sitting meditating, and this love started to pour through me. It was like this spiritual awakening. I was touched by some light force. I thought it was God. And in 2 to 3 seconds of that time, I received this healing work. And it was like a glorious sun shining through me. This is the frequencies of brilliance, energy. So that's what frequencies of brilliance is designed to do, is to take us step by step, remembering our journey as human beings and also birthing our own light. There is emotional healing, there is physical healing, and there's spiritual healing. We come back into a place of balance within ourselves and remembering the unique aspect of our spiritual natures. And I worked with my son, who had cerebral palsy. And within a few hours of me working with him and putting my hands on him and doing this work, he began to transform, very strongly change. And I knew that this energy, this frequencies of brilliance that I was given, was something very powerful and very important for healing. That experience of healing my son, it makes me still emotional today when I think of it. It was such a gift, and yet such a very deep experience of seeing my son transform with this loving work. And it really is a work of love. So together we healed. I worked with him every day for 2 years. It makes me feel very grateful and yet humble at the same time. Well, I've witnessed a lot of healing, but there's a few cases. I used to work just with children, and I worked with hundreds and hundreds of children. And there's one little girl that comes to mind. She was 9 years of age, and she fell out of an apartment window onto concrete, 3 floors up, and fell on her head. And she was in a very deep coma. She'd been in the hospital for 6 months, and they finally released her to go home, still in that coma. Well, sometimes I'm a last resort. People don't believe in this energetic work, but these parents were very desperate to see if the work could assist their child. And after half an hour of working with her, she came out of the coma. And Frequencies of Brilliance has a special energetic process. It's called drawing off the brain, and it actually takes trauma from the brain and allows then the brain to go into a healing process. And so drawing off the brain can be a very fast way to assist people who are either have a brain injury or in a coma. And she came out of the coma after the first half-hour session. There's simply 4th, 5th dimensional healing energies that are Frequencies of Brilliance. It's a very special work and a great honor to be part of this.
Bom, nós descobrimos a frequência de brilho num momento muito difícil, né? Que foi no diagnóstico de leucemia da Vitória. E a Vitória teve um início de tratamento muito difícil. E a frequência, ela recebia, e eram momentos que ela relaxava, que a Vitória conseguia dormir, que a Vitória conseguia lidar com a dor.
Não sente dor?
Não,
Nenhuma dorzinha assim? Nenhuma?
não,
Nada dói? Nada?
não.
E depois você janta tudo?
Janto.
O que você mais gosta na Tia Mary?
Tudo,
O que você mais gosta da sua mamãe?
tudo também.
Eu achava assim que realmente era uma aceitação muito grande de uma criança de 5 anos que recebia uma pessoa que ela não conhecia e se entregava naquele momento. Então eu acho que colaborou muito na recuperação.
Mesmo eu não sabendo o que ia acontecer.
The Frequencies of Brilliance specializes in assisting people in moving from the ego mind and birthing into their hearts. So it's not such an obstacle, but it may take one moment in time.
Para as pessoas que não acreditam, eu diria assim, experimente e depois você fala.